What's up YouTube, Pokémon here and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a deep dive into Poke Beach and looking at some of the brand new reveals for Glory of Team Rocket and also the brand new black and white specialty set that's coming out later this year. Also, on top of that, we're going to be looking at how we can use the information given to us online through places like Poke Beach and also how the American market can help us make informed decisions about purchases and investments that we can make over here in the UK moving forward. Let's get into it. Now guys, we're almost at 600 subs on the channel, which means we're inching ever so much closer to that 1,000 subscriber giveaway of this 151 booster bundle, which of course is an extremely sought after product right now, gaining a lot in price and will continue to do so in the future, so you really don't want to miss out. It's super easy to enter. All you have to do is of course 1, be subscribed, and then 2, drop a like and a comment on this video right here, and you'll be entered in a chance to win this 151 booster bundle absolutely free. So what are you waiting for? Get involved. Okay guys, so let's have a look at Poke Beach here. Before I get into sort of the black and white and the Glory of Team Rocket stuff, I just wanted to cover this exclusive Terra Arcanine EX SIR that's being released in China. And they say no doubt it will remain exclusive to China. Really, really cool. I mean, Arcanine hasn't had a lot of love in terms of the Scarlet and Violet era, so it's nice to see a Gen 1 Pokemon. Whenever they get an SIR, it's really nice to see for Gen 1. I know obviously we had 151, which was a big homage to the first 151 Pokemon, but seeing some new 151 original Pokemon get some SIRs is always really cool. There's a few more cards here revealed. There's a Gyarados, there's an Arcanine, Chien-Pao, Fortress, and Iono. Just wanted to cover that in case you are in China. And I love when China gets exclusive cards. It's really cool for them. And it just makes that all the more kind of interesting. But yeah, just a quick coverage on that. So let's move on to the Glory of Team Rocket. So we've had Crobat EX, Moltres EX, and more revealed for the Glory of Team Rocket, which is amazing. So here we go. We have a Moltres EX with a random grunt on there, looks like. I'm not sure who that is. But this could potentially mean we are getting a Moltres SIR in the set. And we'll talk about that a little bit in a minute. But we have Moltres EX and then a regular Rockets Articuno, which looks actually sick. It's my favorite of the 3, Articuno. And then a Zapdos, which actually also looks cool. I guess these are kind of like leaders. I'm assuming these are different leaders. I'm not sure. They kind of look like the ones from Diamond and Pearl, like Mars, whatever they are, Jupiter and Saturn. But I digress. So we move on, a few more cards here for Rocket, and then we have a Crobat EX, and this is so sick. I love Crobat. Hopefully we also get an SIR for Crobat. I don't think there is currently one that exists in the Scarlet and Violet era, so seeing a Crobat SIR would be really cool. And then we've got a Sneasel. I'd also love a Weavile or a Sneasel SIR. That would be sick. And then a couple of trainers here. So a couple of cool cards revealed here, kind of teasing us a little bit. But yeah, just a big one to note is obviously the Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres. With the Moltres being an EX, which could signify a full art or an SIR of that. We also have here the Tyranitar line, so Larvitar, Pupitar, Tyranitar. Just a regular, part of the set right now, nothing special or illustration rare of it. I think they're really missing a trick if they don't do an SIR version of Tyranitar. Tyranitar is one of the fan favorite pseudo legendaries, and I personally would love to see a SIR Tyranitar. And I know there's quite a lot. There's been quite a lot in the past couple of years. You got the one from Battle Styles, the Tyranitar from Battle Styles. You've got the one from Paradox Rift, I think it is. So we'll get to see if there is one, but it would be sick if there was a Tyranitar SIR. So then here we go. So a little bit after that initial reveal of the Moltres EX, we did get the understanding that we're going to be getting a trainer full art, the new version of it now, which is kind of cool. I'm not a huge fan of these trainer full arts. I mean, this is a random guy that I've never seen before, so it's not like I know who the character is. And I mean, these aren't my favorite type of full art cards, but no, nevertheless, they are pretty cool. And I mean, like I said, it probably does mean we're getting an SIR for the Moltres. I would have loved to have seen one for each of the Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno. I know we did get Zapdos in 151. We got Articuno in Journey Together as an IR. So again, we'll see how things sort of develop over the next few weeks when we get more cards revealed. I'm sure we'll get an SIR for Moltres, and yeah, keep your eyes peeled on Poke Beach. I'll be dropping the news here on the channel when it drops. So then moving on from the Glory of Team Rocket, we have recently been revealed the English specialty set Black Bolt and White Flare, which is going to be based on the Gen 5 Pokemon. Now, Gen 5 is quite a beloved era of Pokemon. For me, I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite, but We've got here a little screenshot of all the kind of legendaries and mythical Pokemon from Gen 5. Not sure really what that means. I think it's just a bit of artwork. But the important thing about this bit of news is that we'll read it. Back in January, we revealed there's a specialty English set releasing on July the 18th based on Japan's Black Bolt and White Flare. The set will feature all 156 Unova Pokemon, presumably channeling 151, but for Generation 5. Really cool. We can now reveal our English set will see the release of 2 Elite Trainer boxes featuring Reshiram or Zekrom, 2 binder collections featuring Reshiram or Zekrom, 1 poster collection, and 8 mini tins. Pokemon Company, you've done it again. You've created 2 collectible pieces of items, pieces of product that people are going to go crazy for. People are going to want to have both of these in their collection. Pokemon Center versions, regular versions, 2 different binders. These guys are just genius marketers. They're just geniuses. They know exactly what's going to get the Pokemon collector to think, fuck, I need these sets. And it's going to be the fact that you can get 2 artworks of 2 iconic legendary Pokemon. It's coming again, guys. It's coming again. So it's going to match a lot of the Prismatic Evolution products. We're going to get ETB, poster collection, binder collection, mini tins. And then in January, we revealed there will be 2 tech sticker collections and 2 illustration rare boxes releasing on August 1st. Now, talking about these illustration rare boxes, if it loads, remember from Shrouded Fable, the Greninja and the Kingdra one are doing extremely well. So depending on what promo card we get in these illustration rare boxes, they will definitely be good things to pick up. The King Gambit one hasn't quite caught up to the other 2. Obviously, Greninja and Kingdra being much more popular Pokemon. I do actually think this Shrouded Fable King Gambit box might do well in the future, but not worth picking up. I think just leave it. Wait for these new ones to come out and consider getting them if the promo is good. If the promo is good, they're going to do well because the Kingdra and the Greninja did really well, and they are still continuing to rise. We're going to get a booster bundle, of course, and potentially a UPC, or an SPC, whatever you want to call it. But quite exciting, to be fair. It'll be interesting to see what cards and what Pokemon they choose to kind of expand into SIRs or IRs in this set. Whether they choose to do IRs, obviously there was no IRs for Prismatic Evolution, so whether they keep that or they go back to the old sort of trend that they did for 151, where there's lots of IRs and lots of SIRs, yet to be seen. But that's the news coverage for today's video. I kind of want to expand on this and talk about now with the information that we get from Poker Beach and other leaked sources, how that can impact our decision making going forward. Now, when Glory of Team Rocket was announced, there was mass buyouts for a lot of the Rocket cards, and we can start to see here. We saw the Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos be revealed for Glory of Team Rocket, not as a combined card, but each of the individual Pokemon were revealed. And we're starting to see rises in cards like the Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno GX from the Sun and Moon promo of the Elite Trainer box for Hidden Fates, was it? Hidden Fates. We're starting to see a bit of price rise in here in the last month. And it's interesting to see how when these sets get revealed or when little bits of information get kind of leaked, that people start to buy out the cards they expect could do really well. And I think there's something to say about that. For example, all the Mewtwo's cards, when Glory of Team Rocket and Mewtwo was revealed, started going up in price. And we saw the Shrouded Fable things like Persian, which was a Rocket card, go up. We saw other Rocket cards come up, like the Jesse and James from Hidden Fates went to like 60, 70 quid. And I think it's quite an interesting and fun play to make when you see, or if you're able to find out information really early on, and then just make those instant plays, pick up the cards you think, okay, so there's a Rocket set coming out that has Mewtwo, Zapdos, Articuno, Moltres. Maybe people will start to buy the other cards because they're like, oh yeah, I want these cards that are getting released again. And we do see that often happen. So getting ahead of the game and finding out this information as quick as you can when it releases, and then making the play, just fuck it, I'm going to go buy out the Zapdos, Articuno, Moltres, I'm going to buy the Mewtwo's, I'm going to buy the Rocket cards. And you do see them start to gain in price. Now, I do think this card is extremely undervalued. Like, we've never had this stained glass kind of style artwork like we have with the Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, 3 iconic Pokemon. So it's nice to see this card finally getting its flowers. Again, like I said, up 7.5% in the last month, and I think partly due to that, we've seen a recent boom in this card's price because of the reveal of the Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres in the Glory of Team Rocket set. Similarly, seeing things like Rocket Zapdos, we can see that this has gone up in the last month by 48%, which is absolutely crazy. All the Rocket cards doing really well. Massive surge in popularity here. This is in March, so I'm assuming yeah, when it was revealed, the rocket set, more stuff gets revealed. They go shooting up in price. Now, if you pick some of these up ahead of time, you might be up a lot of money. As soon as it was revealed, I'm sure people were buying it out. This is where the smart money is going. They're thinking, okay, how can I make plays here? Rocket set's been revealed, buy the rocket cards. It makes sense. But it doesn't always make sense because the Moltres from Gym Heroes has gone down in the last month by, well, up by 1%, but down in the last 3 months by 4%. So it's not always guaranteed to be an easy money maker. Some cards just don't hit the way other cards do. You can see the Zapdos is up 40%. The Moltres, yes, in the last month is up 1%. But yeah, not the same gains we're seeing from Zapdos, but maybe the Zapdos is more popular than Moltres. I think it is. But just the idea for what I'm saying is that thinking about different things, not just like, okay, it's a new set's revealed. Think about how you can pick up cards that are related to that set to make money on. It's not all just about buying your product and keeping it locked away in your cupboard for months and months and years. Sometimes it's fun to make more active and proactive plays like this. Now let's move on to the black and white stuff. So this literally just got revealed and we're already starting to see the Zekrom and the Reshiram move up in price. So we've got 15% up on this Zekrom. This is one of the most popular Zekroms card out there. So the Zekrom up 15%. As soon as the black and white set gets revealed and we know more information about it, black and white cards go up in price. Now, the black and white set was revealed a long time ago to be a set coming out in the future. So you could have used that information there to start making plays on these cards rather than waiting for more information to be revealed and then more people start to catch on. That's another thing to take into account. Again, the Reshiram, this has gone up loads. I think it could be due to the Ends Reshiram from Journey Together, but in the last 3 months, up 56%, the last month up 2.5%. And again, I do think part of the reveal for black and white set is going to have an effect on these cards. So picking these up as soon as you see that could be the play. Another Gen 5 Pokemon, Hydreigon EX, obviously from Surging Sparks, had an SIR. All of the modern cards are sort of falling a lot at the moment, so it could be due to that, but this hasn't moved at all since the reveal of the black and white set. So seeing down 13.8%. It's not going to be every single card from the era or the generation of black and white going to go up in price. It just doesn't work like that. So I kind of wanted to show you that just because the new set's been revealed doesn't mean that every single card from that generation is going to go up in price. We're seeing the Hydreigon here go down a lot, but it's more just to get you thinking about how you can approach the situation when a new set does get revealed, and if there are cards from previous eras that you can pick up that might go up in price because of a new set being revealed. Now, it's interesting to think about, easy to say about Reshiram and Zekrom getting reprints. I'm sure we'll see massive new cards for Zekrom and Reshiram, but having a look at some of the other Pokemon in Gen 5, like the Samurott, which is obviously a starter. Now, the starters don't have too many prints of interesting cards, but the Hisuian Samurott from Crown Zenith with the Galarian Gallery, I mean, this is a gorgeous artwork. It's currently sitting at only $7. I'll have a look at the eBay price in a minute, but this is kind of dwindling off now. It's sort of settled off here at this price for a little bit, but I do have a good feeling that this undervalued card, which I think is an undervalued card, could shoot up in price as soon as this black and white set is revealed. So these are the kind of cards you'll be looking at and thinking, I can make a play here, because once this black and white set gets fully, we're all still stuck in the hype of Journey Together, Destined Rivals. People aren't really thinking that far ahead to black and white set, but you have to be the difference. You have to be the guy who goes, okay, I'm going to think that far ahead and make the play now, because I could see massive returns on my investment if I do the play now. This Hisuian Samurott is super undervalued, and I think at $7, let me just find out what it is on eBay, because I don't want to keep it in dollars for you guys. I haven't got this prepared, but Hisuian, how do you spell Hisuian Samurott? Okay, here we go. This is the one. Try this one. Yeah, so yeah, around £10 for this card, which is super cheap. I mean, even this one here, like, what set is this from? This is another Crown. Like this card here, like, guys, honestly, I'm telling you, this is not financial advice. Do your own research. These kind of cards here, before the black and white set gets released, are going to be cards that are going to be amazing to pick up. I didn't even realize this card was in the set, but Hisuian Samurott V from Crown Zenith. This is the kind of card you're thinking, I could pick this up now. then when the black and white set drops, this card could go up 20, 30, 40%. You never know. So it is a bit more risky, of course, but there are things to be said about doing this kind of thing. So yeah, just wanted to get you thinking about that. Similarly with the Superior, so you got the Superior from Silver Tempest. Now this is, been dwindling off as well, so it's down a little bit, but who's to say that a card like this, it's a beautiful card. I think I love the trainer galleries from Silver Tempest. A card like this could easily see massive price gains once the black and white set drops. And in the last month it's down 3%, so this kind of card hasn't gone up, but I do think that using, like I said, the whole point of this video is to kind of get you thinking about when you get information, when you get leaks, when you get news, what can you be thinking about? Okay, what plays can I make now that I know that the black and white set coming out? It's a very popular set, got the starters, got the legendaries. Start thinking about that kind of thing. Let's actually have a look at this card on eBay as well. So Superior V. So Superior V. So it's £10 on eBay here, and yeah, about 15 to 20 pounds on eBay here in the UK. Again, it's not a massive investment to be making. It's not a massive risk to be taking. I'm a rhymer. It can easily pay off. And if it doesn't, I mean, 10 quid, like you're not too heartbroken about that. And it's a good enough risk to be thinking about. So that's kind of my thoughts on buying out singles when a new set gets revealed. We've seen it happen again with Glory of Team Rocket. We saw the Persian from Shadow Fable, and we saw the Rocket's Mewtwo EX, all these different sort of cards, a lot of Mewtwo's going up in price a lot. And I don't think we've seen that quite yet with the black and white set. So have a think about what you can do in terms of buying singles. Like I said, the Hisuian, Samurott, both artworks, the Superior V, maybe some Reshiram and Zekrom cards that haven't gone up in price yet. Have a look at what's on the market and see if there's any plays to be made there. It's up to you what you buy, but I think just thinking about that kind of thing could see big returns. Another thing I want to talk about is on this whole topic of using information to our advantage. The American market, right, is completely different to the UK market, and there's a lot of similarities and a lot of differences. But one thing to note is that the American market is 1 to 2 months ahead of the UK market. So say, for example, a set went up by 20% in the US, there's a good chance that in a couple of months that set could go up by 20% over here in the UK. And by having that sort of insight and sort of foresight and look into the future a little bit, if you will, with the US market, we can actually make really good informed decisions. And there's evidence of that within Fusion Strike. So over here on TCG Player, we can have a look at the graph of Fusion Strike, the last 6 months, right? We can see here in the start of October 2024, towards sort of the end of November, we started to see a 10-20% price rise in Fusion Strike over here over in the States. But over in the UK, we did get a little bit of an increase, but it was a month after. It was from November to December. So if you'd had a look at the price charting for Fusion Strike over in the States from October to November and saw the 20% gain and hadn't seen that over here in the UK, you could probably infer the fact that we might see that same increase over here in the UK, just a little bit delayed. And that's exactly what happened. And people who picked up Fusion Strike, like myself, back in September, October, November, got in at a really good time, and it was able to understand that because Fusion Strike started to see those gains already in the States. And whilst the markets are not completely parallel, there are parallels that can be drawn, and sometimes things do play out the same way they do over here than they do in the US. And this is a unique example. This is a bit of a cherry picking a bit of data, but there are instances where cards and boxes and sealed products rise in the US before they do in the UK. And having the foresight to go and look at those prices and think, okay, I think I can make a play here because we haven't seen that gain yet over here in the UK, is something you should also be thinking about. It's not all just about buying a product that you believe in and sitting on it and hoping that it gains. You can actually find out if there's going to be price rises or booms in a certain product by looking at the US market. Now, okay, like I said before, it's not always guaranteed. It's not 100%. There are a lot of differences between the UK and the US market, particularly on the Pokemon Center, where, for example, Twilight Masquerade sold out in the States way before it sold out in the UK. Same thing with stuff like Astral Radiance. Some of the Sword and Shield boxes sold out over here, then it didn't sell out in the UK. Like, there are differences between the two markets, but you can follow trends and you can find things out if you are able to just take time to research into the US market, research into the singles that are being released based on new sets, and making plays like that. So that's kind of what I wanted to cover in today's video. It's kind of more of an investing strategy, using information to your advantage to try and make plays, and not just, following the trends, following the market and just being, too safe. Sometimes it's okay to take a risk if you have the capital, if you have the risk tolerance. It's obviously up to you to decide whether you want to do that, but there can be serious money to be made if you are able to take a little bit more of a risk on some singles, looking at the US market, seeing how prices rise and making the play. So that's what I want to talk about. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I do like doing these more in-depth analysis, kind of riskier discussions, and not just talking about, sealed products that can just, buy and put away, because sometimes it's fun to look at, other ways to make money in this hobby. So yeah, guys, like I said, I hope you enjoy. Please drop a like and a comment. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if there's any plays that you've made that have been returning on, had a good return on your investment. And as always, guys, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.